Good morning, lemon heads. Coming to you, traveling on the road this morning, heading to Chicago. I hope you're well. How are you doing? Just so you know, if it looks a little different, like I'm in a phone booth, it's because I am. I'm at the airport in a booth here, and we are going to talk about what's happening in the world, even though I'm in a booth here, and I leave for Chicago. So thank you so much for joining. I hope your day is going well, or your morning is going well. And you know, make sure you hit the like and the thumbs up, okay? Just so you know, you can hear again, once again, I've gotten a cold. I don't know what is going on, but I am sick once again. Maybe I'm just running myself ragged. But anyway, welcome to the program. I can't complain. I'm still here. I woke up this morning. So did you. We should all be happy about it. The thing that I'm not happy about is you hit the like and the thumbs up. I'm happy that you do that, okay? Because it does affect the algorithm and more people become aware of our conversations, and our channel. But what I'm not happy about is I don't know if you saw it, and I have been watching some of the programs this morning, or at least one news program. And they were saying, Donald Trump is wrong on the economy and that he was spouting facts and that he was sort of ignoring and denying what Americans are feeling economically, which is completely true. But also, you guys, I don't even have to talk that much this morning because I'm going to play some of it for you. No matter, I know it hurts, but you have to hear it. And I hope that there are some MAGA supporters in here, but maybe they feel the same way. But this was the most racist, unhinged rally that I have seen Donald Trump do. And that's saying a lot. He attacked Ilhan Omar. He attacked countries that are Black. And he wants more white immigrants to come to America. So in all this time when they were saying no more immigration, we don't want immigrants, they're rounding people up off the streets, detaining them, deporting them. Some of them U.S. citizens they're trying to deport and detain. Even they're doing all of that, and he's saying we want more white immigrants, is what he's saying. Now, he's giving the country names, and so that'll give him some denial, but he's saying, yeah, we want Norway, we want Sweden. Those are white countries. And he says explicitly, stop sending people over from the shithole countries. In the meantime, the economy is off a cliff, and he is telling people that it is okay, that it is great, chastising people, saying, just buy fewer dolls. So I'm going to shut up, and I'm just going to let you hear. This is Donald Trump talking about the countries that he would prefer. Well, first of all, let's start with his rant about Ilhan Omar, and you tell me if you don't think this is some racist bullshit. Watch.
I love this Ilhan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with the little turban. I love her. She comes in, there's nothing but bitch. She's always complaining. She comes from a country where, it's considered about the worst country in the world, right? They have no military, they have no nothing, they have no parliament. They don't know what the hell the word parliament means. They have nothing. They have no police. They police themselves. They kill each other all the time. I love it. She comes to our country, and she's always complaining about the Constitution allows me to do this. We ought to get her the hell out. She married her brother in order to get in, right? She married her brother.
Can we pause this? Again, that is a lie. She comes to this country and she's always saying the Constitution. Of course, she's an American citizen. She's also an elected official. Donald Trump's family are immigrants. What about Melania? Melania is an immigrant. Melania was complaining about Christmas. Don't get more American than that. Complaining about Christmas and Santa Claus, saying who gives a crap about that? Should Melania go back to wherever she came from? And there are other immigrants in his family. Should his dad or granddad or mom or grandmother, should they go back to their country? And then there is no evidence that shows that Ilhan Omar married her brother, but yet he continues to spew this in front of people. And why does he not like her so much? Like, what did she do to him? He's always attacking black women, but I think he likes it because he knows it's going to fire up his base, fire up the racists in his base, the MAGA cult. And that's why he does it, because it's going to help him politically, he believes, with his support. That is dwindling. Let me tell you the reason that he's out on the road is because of his favorability rating down. People don't think he's doing a good job. Even members of the Republican Party, even his own supporters. So what did his staff say? You got to get back out on the road. You got to do a town hall. You have to start relating to people. In this thing, he says it. He gives the playbook away and says, man, my team says I got to get out on the road. When he talks about affordability and then calls it a hoax. But affordability is real. That's the reason he has his fat ass out there, is because people can't afford shit right now. But yet he goes on a rant about Ilhan Omar and Somalia and other countries that he deems to be shithole countries. Keep going.
Can you imagine if Donald Trump married his sister? Beautiful. She's a beautiful person. If I married my sister to get my citizenship, do you think I'd last for about 2 hours, or would it be something less than that? She married her brother to get in. Therefore, she's here illegally. She should get the hell out. Throw her the hell out. She does nothing but complain.
Wow. Wow. Guys, does this remind you of anything? Is that the end of it, Andy?
Yeah, that's the end.
Does that remind you of anything? Remember those rallies back in the day? Can we just hear the last part of that and look at him and look at them? This is like a freaking Klan rally. I'm just going to say
She
it.
should get the hell out. Throw her the hell out. She does nothing but complain.
Send her back. And they're screaming it. And people wonder why when I say, in order to be in the MAGA movement, either you're racist or you had to overlook a lot of racism. And so which is worse? That you didn't prioritize that racism isn't enough to make it disqualifying for Donald Trump to be president or to be a supporter of Donald Trump? No one can deny, if you look at that rally, that has, to me, that's reminiscent of the Klan rallies, of these racist rallies, or these neo-Nazi rallies. And that audience, as Jennifer just said in the chat, loves it. And I wasn't going to say the Klan rally at first, but it looks like a fucking Klan rally, and saying, send her back, telling people to go back where they came from. Can you get more racist than that? As a matter of fact, Donald Trump says it out loud. It's not even quiet. He says he doesn't want people from countries like Somalia.
And we had a meeting, and I say, why is it we only take people from shithole countries, right? Why can't we have some people from Norway, Sweden, just a few? Let us have a few. From Denmark, do you mind sending us a few people? Send us some nice people, do you mind? But we always take people from Somalia, places that are a disaster, right? Filthy, dirty, disgusting, ridden with crime. The only thing they're good at is going after ships.
Which is why part of the reason that we should support, poor countries is for those reasons. The reason that we are not like those countries is because we're a democracy, something that Donald Trump is trying to get rid of. If left up to Donald Trump, we might be more like those countries, because those countries, as they kill each other, well, he's starting to round people, he's rounding people up off the streets without due process. Some have died in custody. He has shot and killed people in Venezuela through our military without any okay from Congress without any oversight from Congress. And now people are looking at one of those or some of those as a possible war crime. But that's what he doesn't understand. The thing that separates us, that makes us distinct or distinguishes us from those other countries that are run by strongmen, dictators, authoritarians, despots, is because we are a democratic republic, is because we have a constitution. But he doesn't believe in the Constitution. He doesn't understand that if left to his own devices, and if we go down the road that Donald Trump wants us to go, we too could end up like Somalia. And if he continues to race and rage bait people and other people of color and women and call them piggy, we may too have a civil war in this country. That too incites violence and separation in this country. That too incites racism, like at that fucking racist rally that looks like a Klan rally. If you go back and you look at the crowds, and if you've seen the pictures of the lynchings and people are yelling and screaming, yeah, that's what that looks like. Imagine what these folks, their I guess their grandchildren, their great grandchildren or great great grandchildren, they look back on these videos and they see Uncle Bob or Uncle whatever or Daddy this or whomever. That's my great granddad. They're gonna go, wow, holy shit, how embarrassed I am, because Donald Trump is using those poor people, and most of them there are probably poor working class people. He's using those people and telling them that they should be mad at immigrants because the immigrants are the reason that they're not getting what they want. The black people are the reasons that they're not getting what they want. So he's trying to make them aggrieved. It's grievance culture so that those people and black people and brown people and poor people and middle class people don't get together and say enough and run his ass and the likes of him out of office. Stop electing people like him. Because we really do, when they say we have more in common, we have more that binds us together than that separates us. It's absolutely true. But then you have this manufactured, racist, divisive bullshit on top of it that Donald Trump is spewing. And it leads to political violence. And the reason that political violence is up in this country is increasing in this country is because of Donald Trump. Because he thinks that he can spew and say those things with impunity and there are no consequences. That's what impunity is. There are no consequences, except there are consequences, and we're paying the consequences. And those poor people are paying the consequences. The consequences are the tariffs. Their paychecks are not going far enough. Their energy bills are up. Inflation is up. And Donald Trump is riding around in an airplane that we are paying for. He's living in a house that we are paying for. And still, they don't see any problem with it. It is really frightening and bizarre that he is also telling people that the economy is good and that they don't have anything to worry about. But he is telling them everything is great, but then he is also preaching austerity, saying you need to cut back. Some people can't cut back. Some people have cut back as much as they can. You need to ration. This is what he's saying to people. And yet they are still, I don't understand what's wrong with the people who support him and they can't see through this bullshit. Or maybe that is it that they are that racist and they too believe that it is the immigrants and the black people and women or whoever that's stealing their jobs and that's keeping them from being what they want to be? Look, most of the people in that crowd are white. There are a lot of white men in that country, in that crowd. If you had a 400-year jump on everybody else, why are you complaining that you have not reached your potential, that's something that you want? Why are you complaining about that? That's not someone else's fault. That's your fault. Maybe you've been duped by politicians for a long time, or maybe you're just not as smart as you think you are, and your entitlement is leading you to believe that. Maybe you just feel entitled, but you're not entitled because maybe you're just not qualified. Maybe you're not qualified for that job. Have you ever thought about that? That there are other people, including women and minorities, who may be more qualified than the job. And usually they are, because they have to work harder, because they're not many times white and men. So here he is telling people the economy is great, but he has advice for them. Here it is.
The one thing you need steel. You know, you can give up certain products. You can give up pencils. Because under the China policy, you know, every child can get 37 pencils. They only need one or two. You know, they don't need that many. But you always need steel. You don't need $37 for your daughter. 2 or 3 is nice, but you don't need $37. So we're doing things right.
Rick Wilson is here. He is a veteran political strategist, a best-selling author, and the co-founder of the Lincoln Project. Rick, what the fuck?
What the actual fuck, Don? Hold on. Get that microphone in there. What the actual fuck? I mean, look, you and I have seen more Donald Trump rallies. You and I have probably watched more Donald Trump rallies than the average human being. But that was deranged at a whole separate level.
Do you agree with me with them cheering? It looked like a Klan rally to me.
Well, listen, skip everything but the pointy white hats. He was in there with the Ilhan Omar stuff. That was a very deliberate decision on his part for that audience in that room to stir that pot. Look, it's Nick Fuentes' party now, and even Donald Trump knows it. So his natural instincts to be a racist prick were on full display last night. And you know, it wasn't just Omar. It was also things like, oh, immigrants are taking 100% of the jobs. I'm like, well, I thought they were lazy. I thought they were all lazy people who were stealing our benefits, but they're taking 100% of the job. How does that work? Yeah, it was a shameful night last night. I mean, really, yeah. And again, I have a pretty high threshold for what disgusts me about Trump because I've seen it all. It's all horrible. But last night was really, really messed up, man. It was horrifying.
It is. Do you think there's something going on with him? Someone says his dementia is getting old. Miller is a whisper. Look, I don't know what's happening, but it does seem that something is happening with him. Is that fear? Is there cognitive decline?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. And one of the things you see in dementia patients is emotional dysregulation. And last night he was up and down. He was angry. He was happy. He was cursing up a storm. And I feel like there's a bit of this, like, let him have one last road show, put him out one last time. But I will say this, Don, as a guy with a lot of experience in politics, usually when you put these issue tours together to try to change the subject, the first one is always the best one. Because after, the next time they put him on the road, he'll get tired. He'll get bored. He'll want to say something different. And the only way he knows how to behave is to get crazier and crazier and escalate the insanity all the time. He's not gonna be suddenly better tomorrow. He's not gonna behave. The next rally, he's not gonna tell the truth about the statistics or go out and try to offer a solution to any of the problems that he caused. He's going to go out and lie more and attack more people. And I think the dementia is a big element of this. I also have a suspicion that the White House wants him out of the building.
You think so?
Yep. I think Susie Wiles wants him on the road so he's tired and not messing in all the things that they want to accomplish every single day. And it takes a lot of work to put these tours together. And it takes the advance team, the political office, the chief of staff, the press office, all those people to do all these things to ship him around the country. And it's exhausting. And they're never better. They get worse and worse over time. And normally they'll schedule like, we're going to do 12 cities, and they'll do 3 or 4 and then go, and we'll get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he's got the mental and physical stamina to do a national tour.
Well, if you could just listen to, again, look, we're not doctors. I'm just judging from
we just play one on TV.
Yeah, but his ranting and non sequiturs and whatever, and it's like, wait, what on earth is happening here?
Mm-hmm,
look, and I want to talk to you more about the economy, because he's telling people the economy is good, and then they sort of did some exit interviews at this. They did exit interviews at this rally, and people were leaving the rally saying Donald Trump is wrong about the economy. But stand by, I need to get a word in from our sponsors, Rick, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Here's a word. This episode of the Don Lemon Show is brought to you by Graza. Holiday shopping is stressful, so I love a gift that actually makes sense. Everybody cooks, everybody eats, and Graza olive oil is one of those things that people don't know they need until they try it. Graza is single origin, never blended olive oil. The olives are picked, pressed, and bottled in the same season, and you can see the harvest date right on the bottle. That's how fresh it is. They've got ready-to-gift sets that make life really easy. Their dinner party pack is my favorite. It's got olive oil for cooking, olive oil for finishing, a limited edition bottle of wine, a corkscrew, and even olive oil potato chips. It's basically a dinner party in a box, a vibe, as I like to say. They also have their duo sets with sizzle and drizzle, now in glass, which looks great, on the counter. Right now, you can get 20% off of your first order. Go to graza.co/Don. Use the code DON. That's graza.co/Don. Support for the show comes from Aura Frames. Every year, I tell myself that I'm going to give thoughtful gifts, and then every year, time runs out, and I'm left grabbing a gift card. Yeah, well, Aura changed that for me. Aura Frames lets you give something personal without overthinking it. You just download the Aura app, connect the frame to Wi-Fi, and send photos and videos straight from your phone. Unlimited photos, no subscription. I love this because the people closest to me need more stuff. They want memories, family photos, trips, moments you forget were even in your phone. You can preload photos before the frame even arrives. And a message, and it shows up in a beautiful box, no price tag. Truly a great gift. Gift ready. So you can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. Right now, save $35 on Aura's best-selling Carver matte frame. Go to auraframes.com and use the code DONLEMON. That's AURA frames.com and use the code DONLEMON. Rick, that's how you know I'm working my butt off, when you see me in an airport booth, phone booth, soundproof booth.
Who among us hasn't done a Delta Sky Club Zoom or video? Who
You
among us?
You saw the monitor behind me, right?
I
And you
did.
put it up full so they could see, put me up full. There it is right there. The Sky Club. Oh, I'm giving everybody the code. And he's telling people, look, you don't need $37 for your, I mean, what? With the disconnect. Imagine if Joe Biden did that. You don't need to buy as much stuff.
Look, the world would, the Fox audience would melt down. They would storm the castle with pitchforks and torches. It would go completely crazy. Like, he's killing the American dream and killing Christmas. But the big lie here, that, as you pointed out, even those people that were leaving the building were like, yeah, I love Trump, but the economy sucks. It's terrible. It's one thing to spin your position and say, yeah, it's not great now. We're working hard. It's going to get better. It's another thing to say, don't believe that low balance in your checking account, or that high balance on your credit card, or those high interest rates you're paying. Believe me. And it's who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? And he tried that last night with a lot of the different stats he threw out there. And, far be it from us to have to go through the BS of fact checking Donald Trump, because every one of them was a lie.
Every single one. And look,
every single one was a lie.
This is Donna. Donna's a waitress, and she spoke at the Trump rally last night, which is kind of odd that he had someone speak, but here it is.
My name is Donna, and I can't believe I'm up here on this stage. I'm a single mom. I'm a single mom who has lived in Pennsylvania for the past 20 years, and I've been a waitress all my life. Started when I was 15 years old. I've always enjoyed it and used to waitressing, made good money. But lately, my money doesn't mean to stretch that far. Pretty much everything I make goes towards paying the bills.
She's saying it at the rally.
At the rally. I mean, how is it? Well, Don, I have a theory of this. I want to get your opinion on this. I think somebody in the advance office, the White House advance team, or the White House Chief of Staff's office that planned this event, I think somebody's like a sleeper agent for the Lincoln Project, because you put Donald Trump in a casino to do a speech about affordability. I mean, it's insanity.
But sorry.
It's all right. That's all right.
He totally downplayed affordability last night in front of
They'll
those
call it a
people.
hoax.
Yeah, and he said, I can't say it. So I don't know if we have that soundbite, but he said, I can't call it a hoax because then they'll misconstrue it and they'll say that I'm making fun of it or whatever. But he said it is a hoax. And again, that's where he went to, you just have to cut back. I mean, something that, that austerity is something that usually happens in what? In authoritarian countries, right?
Right.
You have to cut back. It used to, that was kind of Soviet style things. Austerity.
North Korea.
Yeah.
So what gives off the trees?
Yeah.
Well,
so
look,
what?
He is caught even some part of Trump's tiny little lizard brain understands that he's there to spin and that the reality is terrible. He even his own pollsters aren't lying to him, because universally now, every single survey that's out there, public and private, they're saying, Andrew Wilson did a big analysis the other day. Every single public and private survey we've got our hands on, people blame him for this economy. The it's Joe Biden's fault thing does not work for anybody. And he's out there. He knows it's bad. He can't make himself admit defeat or that his tariff war was wrong. You want to change the economic vibe in the country? Donald Trump could do it. He could just wake up tomorrow morning and go, yeah, you know what? You're going to roll the tariffs back. That's it. We're done.
That's it.
And that's people would forgive him. The economy would explode in a good way. The markets would go sky high, but he can't admit defeat. His ego is in the way. It's his ego fucking with him, as Ving Rhames says in Pulp Fiction, and he should not let it do that. But he can't stop himself.
I love the Ving Rhames reference. You got it in there. That should be like when you take a shot or something. And you
right.
Here he is talking about the very thing that you were just discussing. Here it is.
And I said it the other day, and a lot of people misinterpreted it. They say, oh, he doesn't realize prices are high. Prices are coming down very substantially. But they have a new word. They always have a hoax. The new word is affordability. So they look at the camera and they say, this election is all about affordability. Now, they never talk about it. They never talk. Thank you very much. They say I'm not allowed to run. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but that's okay. He said 4 more years. You see the new hat? We have 4 more years.
I mean, it's crazy. By the way, just so you know, I don't know if it makes a difference, especially if there are Republicans or MAGA folks who are watching. Economic contraction in early 2025, the real U.S. GDP shrank by roughly 0.3% in the first quarter of 25, reversing late 2024 growth. That's when Biden was president.
Yep.
Consumer spending slowed sharply. Growth in consumer spending fell from about 4% at the end of 2024 to between 0.5 to 1.8% in early 2025, indicating weakened household demand. Tariff-driven costs increased across multiple sectors. The administration's broad tariffs on Canada, Mexico, China, and others raised input costs, disrupted supply chains, and continued to a downturn in manufacturing. And then job growth, that you can't even call it growth.
It's
noise. So nothing
Yeah.
that he said was right. Nothing was accurate. But how does he get away with it? We know how he gets away with it.
Well, look, but Donald, here's the thing. Donald Trump had this superpower forever. We talked about this. You and I used to talk about this all the time on air. He would change the subject, but last night he couldn't change the subject. That's how big the economic overhang is in the minds of the public right now. They're pissed. They're hurting. It's bad. And Trump, that's why last night he was throwing out the racial attacks, throwing out the cursing at everybody, throwing out all the paranoid fantasy, the Fed's out to get me bullshit. All of it added up to a guy who can't defend the indefensible, and he doesn't have the superpower of changing the subject anymore, because every time he tries to defend this economy, he has to lie at a scale that even he can't really pull off.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there's really not much else he can do, and he's also worried. He's got the Epstein release deadline coming up in about 9 days. He's got terrible numbers for these Republicans that are running for office all over the country. And by the way, Don, if you were a Republican candidate watching that speech last night, you were calling Susie Wiles and saying, please do not come to my district.
Yeah.
Please do not bring Trump to my district.
Called her Susie Trump.
Susie Trump, right.
Are you going to write a book about his cognitive decline? I mean, you should.
I'm writing another book right now it's called The Hate Machine, and it's about all the sort of the mechanism of MAGA that will survive after Trump if we don't take it out. But I'm going to write. My book after this will probably be A Decline and Fall.
Yeah. So
he's really awful.
Yeah, you said who knows what lengths he'll go to. He's trying the tried and true, the thing that I believe helped them win the most. The biggest thing is that transgender people.
Sure.
And he went there last night. Here it is.
Yep.
I think transgender for all is a great, great thing for the Democrats to be talking about. Transgender for every member in your family. If they're not feeling well that night, let's just change their sex. Now, let's not talk about it. Let them go and let them fight to get these things. I think open borders are great. Where prisons are emptied into our country, right? Where we have people from all over the world being dumped into our country. The people that...
Are the old hits working?
Nope. And I'll tell you, we saw this with Mamdani. We saw this with Spanberger. We saw it with Cheryl. We saw it with the Georgia candidates who won the statewide offices this year. They were all hit on the trans stuff, and all of them were like, the fuck are you talking about? The economy's burning down. That's what I'm focused on. And if Democrats just don't take the bait on it and get back to the economy, that is where the Republicans are in a panic. That is where they are hurting badly. And so, I don't think Trump's going to be able to bring out the trans thing and play that tune again when the economy is absolutely in a perilous situation for most Americans. They're just not buying it. And I will tell you this, Gallup just came out with their most important problem poll, and 1% of people overall say that the transgender issue is the most important problem. 1%.
And the fewer than that are actually transgender people in the country. But
the numbers are de minimis, and Democrats have a natural instinct to defend people who are helpless or who are being attacked. I get it, but the way to defend them better is to beat these fuckers.
Is to win. That's what I always say. The way to and you have to be cognizant of that in your messaging, if you know what I'm saying.
100%.
Right? Yeah,
100%.
because the only people who are going to support transgender people are the only party is Democrats, and so. And if someone is using that in a way that causes Democrats not to win, then even the folks who are very supportive or who who fight for transgender people right in that arena should be aware of that. So, but listen, okay. So then he says, though, even in all of this, that he is the best, Rick. People say that he's better than Lincoln and Washington. Did you see Kelsey Grammer, by the way, who said he believes if Donald Trump keeps it up, he's going to be the best president ever?
I got nothing. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with that guy's brain, but something bad, something's disconnected with that guy.
Here is Donald Trump saying that he's the best.
We keep going like this. I don't know if we can do that, but if we keep going like this, there'll be nothing ever in history like it. Already. They are saying better than Lincoln, better than Washington, better than anybody. The best 10 months ever in the history of the presidency.
It's inflation, rounding people up off the streets.
Right. The fact that around the world our reputation is destroyed. The fact that we're a country driven by corruption at the White House at the highest level. The fact that the lawlessness in this White House is unparalleled. He is the most lawless president. He is the worst president. But the idea that he's going to parallel Lincoln or Washington, we're not even he's not even in the range of the ballpark of those guys.
But he says, I can't believe I'm saying this. Well, he said it during the election. Look, again, Rick, this rally was supposed to be about affordability and getting his approval up, right?
Yeah.
And he just went off into tangents, and I'm sure they were standing there. His people were like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But I mean, what are you going to do? He's already in office. This is what he's saying about black people now.
Let me tell you, black people love Trump. I got the biggest vote. I got the biggest vote with black people. They know a scam better than anybody. They know what it is to be scammed. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. We did great. Thank you. I like this guy.
Black people don't love you, Donald Trump.
You know,
Donald, you that have run away, but no.
Donald Trump got a bump in with young African American men last election cycle, and every Republican, including Trump himself, is now like, well, that's permanent. They're with us forever.
No.
No, they're right now. Trump with African American men is polling under 10%. So he has an 80% disapproval with African American men. He's under 10% approval. Let's not fool ourselves, Donald. This is not a world that where you have built a new coalition, especially because, and a lot of people that jumped into Trump's orbit in 2024, Arab Americans in Michigan in particular, in Detroit and in Minnesota, African American young men, young Hispanic men, they're all people who are being targeted by Trump right now, and they're learning a really quick lesson that a lot of other people learned before. This guy will lure you in, use you, screw you over, and then turn on you. Everything Trump touches dies, folks, is a rule for a reason.
Yeah. And who came up with that?
That would be me.
Yes. So, okay. So we have all that. This is,
Yep.
It says Trump's deranged post. This is Donald Trump's deranged post about his mental health. Now, we talked about that, but why is he said, there's never been a president that has worked as hard as me. My hours are the longest and my results are among the best. If you have to do something like this, and he's talking also about, and it's 2 pages, by the way, he's talking about having a cognitive test. First of all, why are you having so many cognitive tests? And people who are actually working and performing, they don't have to do. So what is going on? I don't know. This is not a good look for him if he thinks it is.
No, this is the crazy guy on the street who's talking about the aliens putting stuff in his body, but then saying he's not crazy. This is the guy at the bus station screaming, that he's being manipulated by aliens. This is a sign to me that Trump knows there are things wrong with him and knows that the doctors are concerned about him. But we're seeing as I like to say, Don, the 2 parallel cover-ups in the Trump administration that will be seen historically as important: the Epstein cover-up and the cover-up of Trump's health. Because there are people in the White House and the people around him who know what's wrong, and they're going to write a lot of books about it when they leave the White House. But for now, he's trying to pretend he's the picture of health, and I think we all know that this guy is not mentally or physically there anymore.
Yeah. I want you to take us on the road ahead, Rick, but if you will, and I promise I won't keep you long, I need to get a word in, and then I have a question for you on the other side. Word from our sponsors. This show is sponsored by MSI Reproductive Choices. They provide contraception, safe abortion, and essential reproductive health care in 36 countries, often in places where they are the only provider women can turn to. This has been a devastating year for women and girls. International aid has been cut, programs are disappearing, clinics are closing, and in too many places, the few options women had are shrinking, and it's shrinking fast. MSI prepared for this years ago, knowing political winds change. Even so, they lost $15 million in funding. Yet they're still delivering care because people refused to look away. Because of donors, millions of women still have access to health care, dignity, and choice. If you believe health care is a human right, here's how you can help. Text LEMON to 511-511 or go to msiunitedstates.org. For $65, you can provide contraception for 10 women for an entire year. So text LEMON to 511-511. Text fees may apply. Support comes from Ollie. If you have a dog, you know their family. And when it comes to family, food matters. That's why I switched my dogs to Ollie. Ollie makes fresh, human-grade dog food with real ingredients, slow-cooked and designed by vet nutritionists. My dogs aren't shy about letting me know what they like and what they love, and they love it. Empty bowls, no debates. You answer a quick 30-second quiz, and Ollie builds a personalized meal plan based on your dog's size, age, and activity level. I've noticed better energy and better digestion, and my dogs are genuinely excited at mealtime. They even offer on-demand access to pet health experts through the Ollie app. Your dog's well-being starts with what's in the bowl. So go to ollie.com/lemon. Use the code LEMON for 60% off of your welcome kit. That's OLLIE.com/lemon. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Rick, I want to ask you, what is this, we've seen over the last month, on election day and special elections, Democrats making headway. The one that happened just a couple of days ago, the Democrat didn't win, but it was, there was momentum there, right? Momentum building. The mayor in Miami electing a mayor, a Democratic mayor for the first time in decades.
33 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What does that mean?
The results last night in Florida, the Democrats held on to a seat that Harris won by 11 points, but they won it by 28 points last night.
Mm-hmm.
The Republicans held on to a Senate seat in Florida that Trump won by 40 points, and they won it by 8.
Wow.
The Miami mayor's race flips, as you can see, for the first time in decades. And all of these small signs, look, no single race indicates what's going to happen in 2026, but the pattern of races so far, there's no good news out there for Republican candidates in any of the races we've had since the November races of this year. The pattern is increasingly changing, and it's harder to keep up the line of BS. And I will tell you, John, the most interesting thing for me that happened in Miami is they hit her over and over again. She's a communist. She's a socialist, communist, socialist, communist, socialist, communist, socialist. And nobody seemed to care this time. Normally that works really well in Miami because of the Cuban population and the Venezuelan population. This time it made no difference. He talked about affordability and affordable housing.
Yeah.
Which in Miami is a big issue.
Yeah. Well, look, that's because of that. That's why Donald Trump is out there throwing rallies. And that's why his advisors are telling him to get out of the White House. And because they don't want him around as well, because he's getting in the way. But, everything Trump touches dies. Is it possible that is what's happening to the Republican Party? And when Donald Trump goes away, they think that they're strengthened. He will have weakened the Republican Party substantially just from his antics and all the folks who followed him.
I think that is exactly what's going to happen. I think that the party used to have this structure where individual candidates from individual states were all different. A Vermont Republican was not the same as an Arkansas Republican, and now they're all the same. They're Trump's guys. They're Trump's team, and they can't just walk away from that. They can't just they don't just get to say Donald who, 2 years from now. It's gonna stick with them for a long time. Very few of them have ever had the courage to say no. Don, when you look at these guys who are running in the swing seats, the 15 top swing seats, they voted 100% of the time with Donald Trump, even in these Biden seats, except for a couple of the real rebels who voted with Trump only 97% of the time. They don't get to say, I don't know who Donald Trump is. I don't know what that was. I wasn't there for that. They've been a part of of all the damage and hurt he's done to people in this country, and they're going to have to own it for a long, long time.
Yeah. Rick Wilson.
Don Lemon, thank you for having me, my friend.
Good to see you. Always
Yes,
good
sir.
to see you. Thank you. I'll see you soon. The
Talk to
Rick
you soon.
Wilson, everyone. The
Thanks,
great
folks.
Rick Wilson. So guys, there you go. You're informed. I need to get to Chicago so that we can get to 2 shows there tonight. One is sold out. I think the other is on the way to being sold out. And so if you are in the Chicago area and you want to come, City Winery, we will be there tonight. The show at 10:30 is open. You can get tickets for that show. And then if you want to know anything about the Don Lemon Show, all you have to do is go to donlemon.com. Make sure you check out our New Year's Eve. If you want some place to go and you don't want to go to Times Square, you want to do something fun where it won't be as cold as New York in Times Square, you can come down to New Orleans and we will be hanging out on Frenchman Street. That's where the real people from Louisiana and New Orleans party. The French Quarter is fun. It's for amateurs. But anyways, so we'll be there and you can click at the top of the donlemon.com and you can get tickets for there, or just make sure you tune into us that evening. Okay. So that's our New Year's Eve special. Make sure you watch. It's going to be fun. So look, I'm going to go and get ready to go to Chicago. I'm going to see you from Chicago at the 5 o'clock show tonight. And so until then, until I see you back here at 5 o'clock for Lemon Live at 5 on the Don Lemon Show and the Don Lemon channel, I want you to be informed without being inundated and turn the TV off.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show. We're live every weekday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time with new clips dropping at 2 p. and 8 p. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, join the Lemon community. Members get exclusive posts, behind-the-scenes videos, and live chats just for you. So hit the join button or visit our channel page to sign up. Thanks again for all your love and your support, and I'll see you next time.